Year to date, we're sitting at 86,500 net volume. We also have $20,000 through PayPal as well, so that's about $106,000 just in the first 38 days. $82,610.90 produced in just the last 7 days. So listen, if you are selling online courses or info products and you are not leveraging automated webinar funnels, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, you're an idiot. And you're missing out on a whole world of opportunity, such as making $100,000 in 30 days. So before I was using Evergreen automated webinar funnels, I was hustling my ass off, working 15-hour days, had a big sales team, and was just overworking just to make 50K a month. And it wasn't until I started looking at all my competition, wondering how are they scaling to six-figure months with no sales team? And it all boiled down to understanding automated webinar funnels. And once I started doing that, I started scaling to six-figure months with way less work and way less overhead and way less stress than what I was doing to make 50K months. By the end of today's video, you're gonna have a complete understanding of exactly how to run an automated webinar and why you must be doing it if you're selling online courses or info products for your company. So first, before we get into the webinar method, I wanna talk about my old method, which a lot of you guys are probably using right now. And basically what I used to do was just create a piece of content, and then I would write a blog post and or even just a landing page and send them to a landing page and just ask them directly to buy right now. Now, this is a very poor and inefficient method. Somehow, I was still able to do 50K months with this. I believe it was because my content was still pretty fire. I was, balls deep in the lifestyle marketing content game, like showing off Maseratis, showing off renting out Pablo Escobar's mansion. So I was using a lot of tactics that I don't really like to use anymore. But this is a very inefficient method because what does it do? It's an either buy or leave page. So every piece of content that you make, you need to be directing someone towards not a buy page, because we don't want to directly ask them for their money right now. We want to give them some sort of value in exchange for their information. I was not doing that. And if you're not doing that right now, you need to stop immediately. The other thing that I was doing was, okay, maybe now I'll start hiring a sales team. The problem with having a sales team is what? First of all, yeah, we did make a little bit more money, but now it cost me a lot to pay these sales people. It also took a lot of time and resources to manage and sell those people. And guess what else I had? This is a nuclear bomb, which means a whole lot of stress from having to manage a sales team and all of that BS. Now, if you're selling anything over $2,000, you probably need a sales team to make that sale. But if you're selling anything under $2,000, whether it be your online course, your info product, you do not need these people anymore because you can completely automate the entire process, which is why automated webinars are so beautiful. And I call it the Webinator method. Let's get into it. Bum, 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 switcheroo. This is the method that I teach in the Iconic Entrepreneur program. I named it the Webinator because it's half man, half machine. It's probably more like 90% machine, 10% man. But basically how this works is we first need to create what? We need to create content. And in order to create the right content, we need to know who our audience is. And that just really boils down to understanding your brand and identifying your message for your branding, of which we also teach in my program. But it all starts at content. And rather than just asking immediately for their money, we want to offer them something of value in exchange for their information. And this is what we call a lead magnet. It can either be a cheat sheet or some sort of getting started checklist. I personally like doing a free training, which is AKA a webinar. So what that looks like on a landing page is every piece of content that you're making, as opposed to sending them to a directly buy now page, we send them to a landing page asking for their information in exchange for some free value that we can offer them. So that would be a landing page offering your webinar. And I also like to add free bonuses for attending the webinar. And that can be another lead magnet, such as a free cheat sheet, free checklist. What are the top tools you use for your program? And that's what we set them to next in the lead magnet. And we need that because we need their email. All right, and it is so important to capture everybody's email, because if you're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you don't own this content. You don't own those followers, right? And earlier last year, I got my Instagram deleted by Instagram. I'm back in business, baby. Woo! And I had to go through a lot of loopholes and a lot of BS to try to get it back. But I spent 8 years building up, close to 100,000 followers on Instagram, and it was just wiped out in a day. So you don't own that. You don't own your subscribers, but you own your email list. So it is extremely important that you leverage your social media content to capture their email so then you can remarket it to them through that. So once you get their information, you say, hey, I got a free training, give me your information and I'll give you some value. That's when we start the live webinar. And in the webinar, it's usually going to be about a 60 to 120 minute presentation, not necessarily teaching about what you do, but more so shifting the paradigm of the end user. What are they trying to learn? And we're really just trying to convince them that this is possible for them. A lot of people, I even did a 3-hour webinar one time. I was like, how about I just do all value and see what happens? I spent like a month building this amazing, valuable webinar that was all education. Guess what happened? Nobody bought my products, all right? So you don't want to just give away free information and value here. Obviously, we want to provide value, but more so, we want to tell stories about what's possible by using the products and services that we are using and that we are teaching or selling. So that's what you do in the live webinar. The problem is this might be the first or second time they found you or know who they are. They might have watched one piece of content and be like, huh, that's interesting. Then went to the lead magnet page and like, okay, I'll give this a shot. Now they're in the webinar, that's only 3 touches, right, that we've seen them. And typically it takes between 7 and 13 interactions before somebody buys. So a lot of times people aren't actually gonna buy in the live webinar. So that's why you have to have a follow-up process and sequence for that customer to continually bring them on a journey and have omnipresence. And that's what we call an email marketing automation sequence that happens afterwards. And mostly what you're gonna touch on in those emails is objections. Why have they not bought yet? Proof of results of the program that you're offering or the service that you're offering, and also what are the benefits? What does their future look like when they purchase our product or service, right? People don't buy products and services in bullet points of what's included. People buy the benefits and what their future could be as a result of your product and services. So your main objective of your follow-up sequence needs to be objections, results, and benefits. And then if they still haven't bought yet, a lot of people might look at all these and be like, man, this is really cool, but I'm busy right now. I'm just looking at this email on my phone real quick, or I'm at the gym, I don't have my credit card on me, right? So a lot of times people will be interested and they do want to buy, but you might just be hitting them at the wrong place at the wrong time. So you have to give people some urgency and give them a little bit of a countdown and say, hey guys, this is it. This is the last chance you have to take advantage of this offer. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pay full price for the product, just like everybody else. So you wanna give them some urgency and give them a timeline because people don't take action. People are lazy. I'm lazy. I'm a big procrastinator. If there isn't a timeline or a deadline, a lot of times I will drag things on way too long. And that's the same thing with your customers in a webinar automation like this. You have to give them urgency if you want them to buy now before it's too late. So listen, if you, again, are selling any info products, selling online courses, selling any sort of digital service, the webinar method is the best way to scale your business. Like I said before, my old method, I was still managing to do 50K months, but in December of 2017, I was still using the old method. And in January of 2018, I launched my first webinar method. And I literally went from 50K to $100,000 months just like that overnight. I got rid of my sales team and I was able to live with a lot more freedom simply by automating this entire process. And I was down in South Africa the whole time during this. We ended up doing just shy of $300,000 in the first quarter of that year, all through automation. So I didn't have to work and be stressed out anymore. I didn't have to have a big sales team anymore. All I had to do was set this up once and then create content, which is that's what I have most fun with, is just creating content. So I have fun over here, and then I just push people over here, and all of this, I don't have to do anything. It's all on autopilot. I don't have to work anymore other than just have fun creating content. And that's what the most beautiful thing is about this. But if you don't set this up, you're gonna sit in front of your computer all day, you're not gonna scale your business, and you're gonna be extremely stressed out, and you're gonna be wondering why Cameron Foose and all the other iconic entrepreneurs are out having fun shooting cool videos while you're stuck not scaling and not running an optimal business. So if you want this to be set up within your business, that's exactly what I offer in the Iconic Entrepreneur Program. It's an 8-week program teaching you exactly how to set up and run your online business. Earlier this year in Cape Town, South Africa, I was staying at a $1.5 million condo and I made $106,000 in the first 37 days. If you want to watch that video of me actually implementing this system, you can go ahead and watch that video right here. But if you're ready to get started in my free masterclass and learn how to set up this whole entire operation for your online business so you can sell your info products in your online courses and create the most amazing course for your clients and students, join right here. I'll see you in the masterclass.